Hey everybody, John Ward here from teamtutorials.com, and today we're going to talk about creating a local WordPress installation using the tool called Local by FlyWheel. And this is a um, tutorial to do the out of the box installation. I'm going to do another tutorial later showing you how to migrate a live WordPress site into a local installation using Local by FlyWheel. But basically, Local by Flywheel is a tool that will allow you to create WordPress instances on your local machine. It's dedicated specifically to WordPress. It's configured and set up everything you need to do WordPress development locally. You're going to get a web server, which is Nginx in this case. You're going to get your MySQL database set up, and you're going to get all your WordPress installation files installed, and your WP config is going to be automatically updated and ready to go. And then you're going to be able to launch a WordPress site locally on your browser. So the first thing we need to do is download the local tool. So you're going to go to this localbyflywheel.com and you're going to click on the download link. Now it's going to ask you what platform you're using. So this tool is available for Mac, Windows, and various flavors of Linux, Debian or Red Hat based. In my case, I'm using Mac, but if you're using Windows or Linux, you can probably still follow along with this tutorial. You just have a little bit different installer. So I'm going to click Mac. It's going to come up. It's going to ask you for a bunch of personal information just so they can get you on their mailing list. Their mailing list isn't really that bad. They don't spam you too much. So go ahead and fill this out and then click on Get It Now. I'm not going to do it in this tutorial because I already downloaded the file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my downloads directory, and I have local here. I'm going to run the installer. And on my Mac, all I do is drag the local application to my applications folder. It'll pop up, it'll install, and then that's it. So I can close out of these windows. Then I can go in my applications and I can launch local. And I'm going to say, okay, open. And you're going to get this nice clean interface here. And what we're going to do, since we're just creating our first site, is we're going to go on this first page. We're going to click Create Site. We're going to give it a name. And in this case, I'm just going to call it Test. You can check out the advanced options here. So you're going to get your local domain. So this is what you're going to browse to in your browser to view your site and files and all of that. And you're going to get your local directory where your WordPress installation is going to be. So we're going to leave those as default, and we're going to click Continue. Next, it's going to want your WordPress username and password. I'm just going to use test and test. And it's going to want an email. I just leave this email default because I'm not going to be using it for anything. It's going to, if you go to advanced options, it's going to ask you if you want to install WordPress multi-site. In our case, we just want the regular WordPress, so we're going to leave that as no, and we're going to click Add Site. And it's going to go through. It's going to provision your server, your MySQL, your web server, install WordPress, configure that, and it's going to do all that stuff pretty quickly. And we're going to have a WordPress site up here and running within a few minutes. Now, you can look at this page. We can look at the overview. You can see that we're running Nginx, what version of PHP and MySQL we're running in WordPress. You can see our local site domain here, which is what we're going to see in the browser, and you can see our path and everything we talked about earlier. If we go to the database tab, it'll give us the database information that we can use to connect to the MySQL database using our tools. So I'm going to open Admin real quick just so you can see it's a little web-based tool that allows you to interact with your database. You can check out the configuration options. You can select, WP options here. You can see that it's set up your local site as test.local and has all your configuration options already set for you. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, but it could be useful if you want to do some database debugging or something like that. And that's basically it. Now that you have the site configured, all you really have to do is go up here and click View Site, and it's going to launch the site in your browser. And as you can see, I have a WordPress installation with the default theme for the year and all that. And if I want to go to my WP admin, I can go there. I can use my username and password I set up, enter the admin, and I can do everything I need to do local development with the WordPress site. Now, one other thing that is kind of neat with local is that you have this enable live link at the bottom. And what that's going to do is going to give you an ngrok domain name that allows you to share this on the web with maybe like a client or somebody that you want to be able to go to your website. So they'll be able to access this URL on the web while you have that live, and they can access the site on your local machine to do testing or check out your development work or whatever you want to do. That's basically it for this tutorial. Nice and sweet and quick. The tool is very useful. So it's specifically designed for WordPress and WordPress developers, and it supports multiple sites, so we can add more sites here. It supports the FlyWheel hosting if you want to look into FlyWheel's hosting abilities. I'm not going to talk about that right now, though. But that's it. Hopefully you learned a thing or two from this tutorial, and we will see you